Welcome to Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. This is your go-to source for practical advice and support while you go through the divorce process. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll cover a variety of topics such as child custody, property division, and self-care. Together, we'll explore emotional, financial, and legal aspects of divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here's your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hello and welcome to day 2 of the Breaking Ties interview series. This is the series where we talk with a professional who assists those getting through the divorce process, and we get those answers to many of the common questions you might have. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And with me again is Gina Positano, and Gina is the owner of Gina Positano Designs. And what's really great about this is she does a lot of decluttering, creating a stylish and functional space, and then also a little organization as well, and interior decorating to help you put your stamp on your space after your divorce is final. So welcome back, Gina.
Hi, Mike. Thank you. Good to see you again.
Yes, how are you doing?
Doing great. Excited to get started.
Excellent. Well, yes, and I know we're excited to hear what you have to share because the information you shared yesterday was great. And for our audience, if you guys haven't listened to yesterday's podcast with Gina, you got to go back and listen to it because she shared some really insightful information that I think you'll all find very useful. Now, for today, I was thinking about this and I'm like, all right, where do we want to go? And so basically, that's just it. It's like, where do we start decluttering, and what if this decluttering has sentimental value, or how do you let go of something of sentimental, some sentimental items you might have?
Yeah, great question. I like to advise people when decluttering. It could be very overwhelming. Maybe your whole house has clutter, and it's just in your head, very stressful. Maybe you're feeling anxious over it. Start with something small. You could start with even a junk drawer or maybe a linen closet, just something that's little, more manageable. And once you get going, I feel like you start getting that momentum because, like we mentioned a few times, that feeling in your head starts to feel freer. And it's kind of like going to the gym. When you start working out more, you start seeing results. It's more motivating. So definitely starting somewhere small, that will give you the confidence and the motivation to keep going with the rest of the house. As far as sentimental items, I've never been pushy with clients, to make them get rid of it because you don't want them regretting it. And they have that one item from maybe an ex-husband that they do like, or just something they bought years ago when times were good. So I like to ask certain questions, talking through clients. I had a client who she was selling her home. Actually, her husband had passed away, and they kept these 3-foot tall stuffed animals. But they were some were 5 feet. They were taking up a lot of room in her garage, in her closets. So she's just started talking herself through it. I was asking her certain questions. And in the end, we ended up keeping one small one. He was about 10 inches tall. And in her own time, she felt good with getting rid of the rest. We took a picture. We staged them together and took a picture of them. And she felt, more comfortable with letting them go. And again, she kept the one item. So that's something good to do. And if it is something maybe you bought a long time ago, you love it, but it's big, it's taking up too much space. Again, just a photo is great. I think our mind can draw on memories when needed. And if it doesn't, you can always look at the photo when you want to dig up that good memory.
Yeah, you know what? I had never even thought about that. I mean, gosh, taking a simple picture of the item so that you've got a record of it that you can go back and look at. I mean, that's a brilliant idea.
Thank you.
And so we can do all this decluttering and we got all this stuff. So what are some things we can do with this excess stuff? And what if we can't sell or donate the stuff?
Sometimes if you have really large items, like I know some of the charity places won't take mattresses, they don't take car seats, or if maybe the thing is just falling apart, you need to get rid of it and it's just too bulky and big. The junk removal companies are great for that. There are also some of the big charities that will just take the larger items, but you can always find an online marketplace for free things, and I've never had a problem. It's free, here it is, or arrange the pickup, and it's gone. So, but yeah, I think in the worst case scenario, the junk removals would take anything.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. Now that I think about it, there are a lot of websites out there that will help you upcycle or recycle or share cycle, whatever the current cycle is for, um, basically reusing somebody else's items because they don't have a use for it, but you do. So, uh,
Exactly.
yeah. And they're great programs. I mean, why throw something away in the trash if somebody else has a use for it?
Yes, exactly. One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Exactly. And in divorce, you're gonna have stuff you're gonna want to part with. It's just part of the process. And so it's always nice to find it a new home, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, we have made it through day 2 of our interview series of the 5 days. So, once again, if you haven't listened to yesterday's episode, please make sure you do so. Great information in there from Gina. And if you'd like to, you know, contact Gina, you can find her information in the description of the podcast, and she'd be happy to answer any questions you have as well. So, we would like to thank you for joining us on this episode of Breaking Ties, the interview series. And remember, divorce is not the end of your story. As Gina and I already know, it's just the start of your next great chapter. And with that, we will see you all tomorrow. Have yourselves a fantastic day.
Sounds good. See you tomorrow.